Good morning everyone, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here in my flat in Rochester. Good morning everybody. I hope everybody has a great day today. It's Wednesday. We've just had the recycling men down here. Recycling guys. About 7ish. I was already up. Looks like it's going to be another really brilliant hot day today. Yesterday was overcast and windy. Now the sun is back out. It's really hot again. Sweating buckets just getting up. So good morning everyone. Today I've got up. I've managed to get up. I'm not depressed. The bullies haven't got to me. What bothers them doesn't bother me, so I don't know why they bother about it. It doesn't bother me. I have been married. I've had 4 kids. I've had various relationships, and no one's been bothered about my appearance, so I don't know what they're worried about. No one's been bothered about my appearance. It's your personality. It's what you like inside. It's a combination of things. It's a combination of things when you meet somebody. It's your personality. You're attracted to them. It's not all about looks. Finding a partner, being with someone is not all about looks, but these are young, a lot of them are young people. Some of them have never had a relationship. Some of them are very insecure. This is why I do try and feel sorry for them. Some of them are very, very insecure people who have got sad lives themselves, and they take it out on other people. But it's no excuse for people to be really spiteful and hateful to other people. I know that, but then I try and sell myself these people are insecure, they've got problems in their own lives, and they get satisfaction by taking the rise, the piss out of other people. But it doesn't help when they are coming out with the most cruelest, wickedest name calling, saying things about your family that's nothing to do with them. There's no excuse for that, and a lot of TikTokers get so inundated with these trolls, they stop their account. Some of them are targeted in other ways and are attacked outside. And some of them end up in hospital or in a safe house because these trolls actually come to the address where the creator is living and start to cause havoc. One creator had the police, fire, ambulance, brigade to a doorstep almost nearly every day, by trolls ringing up the emergency services just to get somebody. That is bad, but the police, they can't do anything. They come out, they see if you're okay, and then they go away again. And then the troll does it again the next day. Police come out, see if there's a fire or a gas leak or whatever, go back. They are wasting emergency services time, they're wasting locksmiths' time, they are wasting a load of people's time that could go on to people that really need this help, especially the ambulance service. So you either stop doing what you're doing because trolls are forcing you to, or you carry on. And there you go. TikTok is an application, right? Excuse my pets. pets are pets. TikTok is an application, a social media application, where you can live stream. And live stream anything, your life, where you are, what you're doing, everything. And there's a lot of jealousy and hatred on that application from people that are watching. And other creators on other creators. And there's a lot of jealousy and spitefulness and hatred. All I wanted to do was make friends all over the world, you know, and possibly meet people in the future, socialise and have a bit of fun. And as soon as they do it to everybody, as soon as you start live streaming, you get, I think TikTok notifies your followers that you're going live. Someone came into my live stream yesterday and said, you've come up on my FYP, TikTok's notified me you're going live. So they came into my live stream and they just started like, these pets are annoying. They just started calling me names, right? And it's blatantly obvious. When you've got something wrong with you, you personally know you've got something wrong with you, right? And I've looked like this, and all I've done is my face has got older, right? So I've been like this since I was about 13. I've been bullied since I was a kid. But it hasn't stopped me finding relationships. It hasn't stopped me being with people. So why does it bother other people what I look like? And that's what I think that's what a lot of people think when they're being bullied. Look, would you want the body I'm in? Would you want to suffer the pain I'm in? Would you want to be like me? No. So why are you picking on me? Because if you're constantly coming into my live stream picking on me, there's some fascination. Because you would just like piss off and go away and do something else, wouldn't you? And they like picking on people, right? It's obviously people that aren't educated, because intelligent people do not go around bullying people. They get on with their own lives, do their own thing, and they're too busy to worry about what other people look like or what they're doing, right? So if you're a bit overweight, tiny bit overweight, you're fat. You know, you're fat. I got called fat gut, right? I'm going through the menopause. I don't want to be skinny. I'm at an age where I couldn't give a shit what I look like, and they can fuck off anyway, but I can't swear on TikTok, so I have to put up with their shenanigans. So they can call me what they like, fat gut, fucking, where lady boys come from, I don't know. That's absolutely fucking stupid. I'm not a boy. I'm certainly not a lady boy. So where that fuck is coming from, I don't know. I mean, don't you usually go to Bangkok and find lady boys? I mean, I don't know where that shite is coming from. That's ridiculous. Fat gut, yeah, well, I'm going through the menopause. Women going through the menopause find it hard to lose weight. What else was it? Yeah, well, they mentioned, you know what they mentioned. And I don't really care. No. And that's no shame on me. I've been like this since I was 13. At the end of the day, we're born with no teeth. And by the time we're in our elderly stage, we've lost most of our teeth anyway. So they can get fucked with remarks about teeth. We're on this planet for a short amount of time. And if teeth bother them, well, you know, the dentistry in the United Kingdom is expensive. And when people say go to the dentist, on a lot of people's profiles that have got, you know, just normal teeth, You know, we're so used to plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery. We see people like Katie Price with perfect teeth, but you know, before she had her teeth done, her teeth were normal. And normal teeth chip. They wear and tear, they break. Yeah, my front tooth broke when I was a kid. It twisted round, right? Yes, it should have been fixed when I was a kid, but some people are afraid of the dentist. They're shit scared of the dentist, right? Some people go through domestic violence and have their face battered in and lose teeth. Yeah, just grow up, get a life, grow up. Katie Piper, right? She went through domestic violence and had acid thrown in her face. It's all burnt. She's gone on to be a model. She's got a fella. She's had babies. If somebody loves you, they don't worry about what you look like. And that's what these trolls can't understand. They can't understand it. There's large ladies, married, right? I've been married. My partner didn't worry about my teeth. I mean, for goodness sake. And that's what these trolls can't understand, right? I don't care. When somebody loves you, they love you for you. And probably someone doesn't love these trolls. And that's where you hit them where it hurts. Because they are feeling bad about themselves. They probably feel that nobody loves them. So they think that getting any tiny bit of attention, even if it's negative, makes them feel like they're wanted and loved. But they're not. They're hated. Because when you troll people, they hate you. They don't love you. They hate you. They don't like you. And that's why you're hiding behind a fake profile. These trolls, why they're hiding behind a fake profile, because in their mind, all this attention they're getting is negative, and they think people love them, and they don't. They hate them. Nobody likes being trolled. Nobody likes being called names. They wouldn't like being called a name, so they hide behind a fake profile, because they wouldn't be able to take what we take. And they hang around in groups. When you're trolled and bullied outside, which I am, they're always in a group, giggling and laughing together. They haven't got the strength and courage to be like it on their own, because 1-to-1 they would lose. So they're just a coward. But when you're a kid and you're going through bullying, some teenagers commit suicide, even kids, because being bullied is nasty. Especially if you're being gang bullied, like I was at school, gang bullied. The whole class bullying you and taking the fucking piss and throwing your clothes about and stealing your belongings, and the teachers doing nothing about it. Because they didn't when I was a kid, they did fuck all. Some teachers joined in with the bullying and called me stupid names. Oh, don't bother asking her to put her hand up, she won't speak. Well, I speak now, don't I? So I was bullied at school because I was quiet and shy, and now I'm being bullied because of my facial features. Well, fuck you. So you can't win. But I will stand up for myself now, and I won't give in to bullying. And if a bully wants to bully me, do it to my face. Show some guts. And let me defend myself, rather than hiding behind a fucking... What? I have actually seen pictures of trolls, and they are hideous. They've got low self-confidence and they hide behind a screen. I feel sorry for them. Because I'm telling you now, right, there's people on here with all sorts of things wrong with them, and they've got so many likes, 1 million likes. You know, they're happy, disabled people. They've got loads of likes because their self-confidence shines through and they're happy. They're not worried about their disability. They're doing things disabled. You know, they're keeping fit, they're dancing, they're singing, and that's what I want to promote. Positivity, it doesn't matter what you look like. You're a human being. Make the most of your life. Bullies ruined my school life. I could have gone to university. I could have been somebody. They bullied me every single day of my life. They bullied me out of the school fucking gates when I was 11. Bullied me outside the school gates. I was frightened to come back into my secondary school. Teachers didn't help me. I had to come back in with everybody laughing at me at the school gates, and I couldn't see what was wrong with me. I saw a pretty little schoolgirl. Girls, there was no boys in my secondary school, all females bullying me because I didn't have the up-to-date secondary school clothes. Jealous, spiteful, horrible girls. I had to cope with that on my own. Didn't even tell my parents because I was being bullied at home as well. I had to cope with it all on my shoulders on my own. And yes, I did go through some mental health issues when I was 15. Just carried on as the best I could, surviving by myself, being bullied at home, at school, down the street. It's no different now. I'm just older. And it's harder to cope with it when you're older because you can't run away with them, run away so much as you can when you're younger, can you? You know, and you just get tired of it. Leave me the fuck alone and find something else to do. Really? If bullies knew the effect, well, you know, they do, and they laugh, don't they? They know the effect it's having on some people, and they even drive you to the depths of suicide and tell you to go and do it, which is disgusting. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1984, Bruce Springsteen released his classic album Born in the USA. We've been dancing in the dark ever since.
So I'm going to do that again. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning, and happy birthday to Angelina Jolie, actress, filmmaker, and humanitarian. My favourite story about her is that during the filming of Tomb Raider, she set fire to her silk pyjamas on the chandelier while doing bungee jumps in the house.
Alexa, how old is Angelina Jolie?
Good morning, Crystal. Angelina Jolie is 50 years old.
So, people like Robbie Williams is 49. Angelina Jolie is 50. So, we're all around the same age. And I grew up with Take That. Take That, and he's 17. Don't forget Brian Harvey. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:31 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Wednesday, the 4th of June.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Right now in Rochester, it's 14 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast is clouds with a chance of showers, with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 11 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Why did the ghost cross the road? Because it was a poltergeist.
And poltergeist. Alexa, what celebrity was born on this day?
This day's famous birthdays include American actress, film director and screenwriter Angelina Jolie, American film, television and theatre actor Noah Weil, British Canadian actor and author Russell Brand, Chilean actor Lux Pascal, and American singer, actress, songwriter Michelle Phillips.
So it's Russell Brand's birthday as well, and he's going through a rape trial. Alexa, how old is Russell Brand?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Alexa,
who are you asking about?
Alexa, how old is Russell Brand?
Russell Crowe is 61 years old.
I didn't say Russell Crowe, did I? Alexa, how old is Russell Brand?
Russell Brand is 50 years old. So
Russell Brand is 50. They're all around the 50 age mark. Robbie Williams, Angelina Jolie, Russell Brand. Alexa, how old is Eminem?
Eminem is 52 years old.
Eminem's 52. All in the 50s. The people I grew up with, the singers I listened to, some of them are older, because one of the first groups I listened to was Adam and the Ants. Alexa, how old is Adam Ant?
Adam Ant is 70 years old.
Adam Ant is 70. 70. I grew up with Adam and the Ants. He's still performing. Brilliant performer as well, Adam Ant. We all get older. We all lose bits of our hair. As we get older, we go a bit deaf, lose our eyesight, get a bit wrinkly. It's just old age. But when people are young, they don't understand what old age looks like and how you get older. And instead of being nice and kind, because I think some people are afraid of dying and getting old, they take the mickey out of older people, when they really should be being sensible and nice and kind and understanding and helping them. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people that can't face things laugh at it because they don't understand. But when you're looking at an older person, that's, hopefully you will get old yourselves and realise how hard it is to cope with life as you get older, especially when some young people are really, really hateful bullies. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Give my listeners the number of assaults or attacks that your colleagues endure on a monthly or annual basis.
Yeah, annual basis, it's over 10,000 assaults now. It's out of control, Nick, to be honest with you. And in your introduction, you said it yourself about some of these have been life-threatening. In recent weeks, we've seen the Franklin attacks, we've seen attacks at Belmarsh, we've seen attacks at Whitemore, and we've seen a dreadful attack as well at Long Lartin in the last few days, where someone was stabbed in the stomach and had to be airlifted out to hospital for emergency operation.
Steve, how long have you been in the prison service?
I've been around the prison service since 1990.
Okay, so 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Is it getting worse year on year? How would you equate that if there was a graph, Steve?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind, and the own stats bear that out. It has gone beyond what my world expectations would ever have been. And these are due to, and I don't want to make it political because I get fed up with politicians actually bickering between themselves but offering no solutions, and as my members on the receiving end time and time again. But you can't have a situation where over the last 15 years the prison service and the whole criminal justice system are being decimated financially. And it's shown. We got rid of so many years of experience of prison officers back in 2012. I'm afraid it's going to take a long, long time to rebuild that experience up. I was lucky enough when I joined in 1990, Nick, that as a probationer, I had an experienced landing officer I shadowed him, and for a whole year. These young people coming into prison service now don't get that, I'm afraid. They're chucked in at the deep end and they're expected to sink or swim. And it's no wonder these young kids are leaving as fast as they come in.
You mentioned Franklin, you mentioned Belmarsh. You'll be aware an officer at Long Lartin was seriously injured, I think, last week. Steve, how close are we to an officer potentially losing his or her life?
Well, I hope I never have to come on here, Nick, talking to you about the loss of life of a prison officer. But I think we're getting nearer and nearer to that situation. So yes, this is a step in the right direction, but we need to get security, order and control back into our prisons very quickly, because it's not just the high security estate where my members are being utilised day in, day out. It's all over the prison estate. So what we're saying is we welcome this is a first step. There's plenty of work to do. I'm not saying this is the silver bullet that's going to stop attacks or anything like that, but it is a deterrent and it's basic personal protective equipment, and we want to go further, and we will engage with whoever's in government at the time to ensure that that happens.
Final observations then, Steve. You say you want to go further. One word. Tasers?
Well, at the end of the day, we're not ruling anything in or anything out, but I did...
Would your blokes and women want to carry tasers, though?
I'm not sure they would, to be honest with you. In special circumstances, they might. I heard what Mr. Jenrick had to say during the week about arming prison officers, and I've got to say, with 14 years of Conservative rule, why didn't they introduce it then if they thought that strongly about it then? I'm fed up with the point scoring when my members are on the receiving end. I would much rather get back to basics in our prisons that were solved 20, 30 years ago, where they were a lot safer because we had more staff, we had security, order and control, but I'm afraid that no longer exists at this minute in time.
Enjoyed our conversation. Good luck to you, Steve. Thank you. Steve Gillen is General Secretary of the Prison Officers Association, 8:38. You might have views on that, but it is the attack on the BBC by the White House that's getting some calls now. Kate is in Watford. Katie, your take on that. Good morning.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. I mean, my concern is that we all know with social media, a lot of the younger generation are getting their news from, 30-second sound bites from TikTok. That is a concern. However, we expect the BBC and the CNN and similar media outlets to verify information and to make sure what they're reporting on is correct. So you had a couple of weeks ago a wildly inflated claim that 14,000 babies are going to go and die in Gaza within 48 hours.
Yes,
that turned out to be a complete miscommunication. Yeah, and that turned out to be a miscommunication. It wasn't actually what happened. And yet that day, 2 Jews got murdered in DC. Then you had a couple of days ago this Hamas claim that people, civilians going in Gaza to aid, and this new American-Israeli initiative were shot upon by the IDF. Turned out to be totally false, but by the time anyone was back with that information, we once again had attacks on Jews, this time in Boulder, Colorado, when they were just marching and bringing awareness to hostages. Now, Hamas is a terrorist organisation. They are at the moment, they are facing a reality where Israel and Americans are giving aid directly to Gazans, which means it's not being looted, it's not being taken, and so they're going to parrot that information. A lot more is going to come out.
Let me just come back. I hear what you said. I want to bring you, if you don't mind, back to the BBC aspect here. What would your view be on the BBC reporting, Katie?
They need to verify their information. They need to
How do
speak
they?
to the
They can't have journalists there.
Well, the problem with journalists there is that I suppose in that kind of combat situation, Israel can't secure their safety. It's a very volatile environment.
They're in
but
Ukraine, Katie.
But they need what they need to do is they need to verify. So if Hamas parrots something, which they're going to, because they're a terrorist organisation, they need to check with the IDF.
Stay on the line, please. Someone I think wants to perhaps take you up on a few bit of this. Khaled in Enfield. Kate is saying there that in fact the BBC is not doing a good job, as the White House says. What would you say?
It's from my own stomping ground. That's what's funny. Morning. I think the BBC are really interesting because actually that I feel from the other point of view that they have been they haven't actually reported what has really happened over the last 600 days.
Well, how can they? Can't have journalists in there, Khaled?
Well, exactly. Well, exactly, and so, and actually, moving on to the point of the State Department, it was fascinating listening to her yesterday because actually Matt Miller, the previous State Department, was interviewed last week, admitting that he understood that what he understood was war crimes were going on, but he was still having to provide cover for it, which meant that he actually knew those things were going on and he was complicit and he was just doing his job.
What do you make of the fact that Israel will not allow journalists into the area?
Well, I think that once they do let them in, we are going to witness the most unbearable and horrific carnage that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, Nick. And I wouldn't be surprised if, with your change of bringing in the other points of view of Palestinian voices, they won't be attacking you soon enough.
I'm not sure what I'm saying there. Let me break. You're not going, Kelly. I don't want to ring Katie. And Katie's saying, as and when journalists get in, we're going to witness those sort of scenes. Your reaction, Katie?
I think that's utterly not incorrect. The Americans, UN people, even our own, British colonels who fought over here, who have been into Gaza, and there's absolutely not genocide or war crimes going on. War is horrific. civilians die in all wars. Even if you take Hamas numbers on the face value, which they're a terrorist organisation, so one has to be circumspect. But even if one does take those values at face value, the civilian to combat ratio of how many people have been killed is phenomenally low. The UN quotes things like 9 to 1. This is 1.5 to 2 civilians for every combatant. Now, war is horrific, as I mentioned, but the RDF goes way and above, and our own ex-servicemen here have attested to that. The fact is, there are tunnels, it's urban warfare. Israel, by the IDF, no army is perfect, but they...
Is that the reality then, do you think? Let's bring Khalid into the conversation. The tunnels, that's...
Yeah, do you know what? They are all the talking points I've heard over and over again. And of course, none of it can be verified because we can't let in journalists.
Yes, but, well, we do know about the tunnels. That is real.
Actually,
there has been video footage of the tunnels, Khalid. That is true.
Yes, I suppose so. I think, actually, what we can do as the general public is check Google Maps and go to Gaza and look at the destruction because they've updated the maps. And it's heartbreaking. We are witnessing the most appalling crime within our generation, and it will come out in history that this was a Holocaust and a genocide.
Grateful to both of you. Khalid, thank you. Katie, you were the first of the callers on that one. What we're hearing about the coverage. Thank to you. Naji and Hendon. Naji, what do you want to say about this row? Good morning.
Hi, morning, Nick. I just